Is everything living in Zambia perfect? Of course not. So in this video, I'm going to share with you just some of the things that are a little bit of nuances and headaches, and just so in case you're on your way here, so you can be ready for these type of things. Hey, Jason here. If you've been watching the channel, I'm now 10 years as an expat/nomad. I am on my fourth country, third continent, here in Lusaka, Zambia, in the southern region of Africa. And I'm starting to just share with you tips and tricks that I've learned along this 10-year journey to help you in case you want to become an expat. But most importantly, if you're already an expat or thinking about becoming one, why you should be thinking about Zambia as an option in this whole southern region of Africa. So let's go ahead and get into today's video. So everything isn't great here, and that's no matter where you go in the world. Even when I lived in Panama, which is considered paradise for some people, there's things about it that wasn't great. Same thing happened to Colombia, same thing in South Africa. However, the things, when you know these things, they can help you. Sorry about that, somebody's screaming outside. That'll be like one of the things. Sometimes people just randomly screaming. It's so funny that happened. Like when you're living in countries, like one thing I want you to forget about is this utopia. No matter where you go in the world, there's going to be good things and bad things. So you have to make sure the good things of why you're going there can always outweigh the bad things. Once that starts to shift to where you're starting to get more bad things, you lose that love with that country. And then you start getting tired, you start complaining. And so I want to help you skip that process as much as possible. So the first thing that is a big nuance here is sometimes there's just no money in the ATMs. And this is why I did the video to explain to you, you don't really need cash here for the most part, because sometimes the cash is hard and it's hard to get in circulation. So you can use things such as mobile money, where you pay with your cell phone and you just send the money or withdraw it to an account and the people can get it. Or you just use your bank card. I use my bank card for majority of the purchases that I do, and everything works out great. But the times when I do need to get cash, sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's difficult. Also, with that in the same instance, sorry about that, the rain is crazy today. Just keep raining for like about 10 minutes real hard, then it'll stop and get hot. Now it's raining again. My poor clothes never gonna dry out there. But one of the other things here is the ATMs, they don't always let you pull out the same amount every day. So the highest amount you can pull out at one given time at an ATM is 6,000 kwacha, which is about $200 US, 200 to 215, somewhere around there. However, sometimes that same ATM that may yesterday have let you pull out 6,000 kwacha, today it may only let you pull out 2,000 or 3,000. And so if you need, let's say 12,000, you don't want to keep putting in and doing transactions 6 times to get to 12,000. Especially if you don't have a bank card that doesn't reimburse you ATM fees. Thankfully I do, so it's not that big of an issue. But usually I wait till about mid of the month, and whenever I need to pull out cash for something, that's when I go pull it out. And then usually I just throw the cash either in my mobile money, or sometimes I keep it on hand. Other thing about mobile money, when you put cash in there, you are able to pull it out. You put cash on the mobile app, you're able to pull it out at the Airtel stores or any Airtel representative. So that is something that's really good. Now, that's one of them. That's just dealing with ATMs. Here's the second one, and it's still dealing with ATMs. You have to be careful or understanding when there's the load shedding or the outages of the electricity. Even though the banks, if the load shedding hit, it'll pop right back up with their backup generators. Sometimes the ATM machines get locked up. And I saw this firsthand, and it was my first time witnessing it. I probably would have went crazy if I didn't know about this. But when that happens, sometimes it will take the ATM operator who works on the machines to come out and reboot the machine to where it will give you your actual debit card back. So when this happens, you just go inside the bank, if there's no number on the machine itself, and you just let them know, like, hey, my card is stuck in here. Here's my phone number. Or you can just sit there and wait until someone gets out to do it. Now, you don't know exactly how long it's going to take to get it done. I'm going to be honest with you. I was thankful enough to see it happen to other people in front of me, because it happened right before it was my turn to go into the ATM. Because like if you're coming from the US or the UK, you're not used to that. And so you want to just be aware of that right now. And it's just one of those nuances that comes with the load shedding of being in Africa. And so just be mindful of that when you're using the ATM. If you see maybe some flickering of lights in one part, you may want to wait 20, 30 minutes or an hour, then use the ATM just to give it a chance if the system's going to shut down from the load shedding, and then let it reboot itself up so your card is not stuck in the machine. Now, the third thing, now this is actually dealing with the rain. Because as of right now, it's rainy season. I am grateful it's rainy season. The dam needs as much water as it can get. However, rainy season brings its own problems here in Lusaka. Now, this is just speaking of Lusaka on this one. I can't speak of the other regions because I have not stayed there and I have not been in those regions during the rainy season. In Lusaka, once rainy season starts, like how it is right now, the bugs come out. Mosquitoes, the termites. And I didn't know termites just come out of the ground. So I don't know why they haven't been doing it that bad here. We had them real bad when the rains first started this season. But now I haven't been seeing them come around. And you'll just see these little wings all over the ground, all over your porch. It's annoying. Then they come in the house and you don't know if it's a roach or what kind of bug it is. If you're a person like me who don't like bugs. On top of that too, you get a lot of spiders here. I don't think they're poisonous spiders, but they just sit on the walls. I don't know if they're wolf spiders or not. I was told they're not poisonous. They don't do anything. I'm like that. You don't see them spinning webs to catch the flies or eating the mosquitoes. It's like they just come in and live rent free. I don't know how to explain it. But it does get annoying because some of them get pretty big, man. Like some of them can get about like a little bit smaller than my palm, and I have a big palm. So when they get that big, I have to start spraying them with Doom, which is their version of Raid here. Because I'm like, look, you too big to be in my house rent free. You got to put something on the bill. But that's just my mentality. Then the other part of the rainy season, dealing with the bugs, is because majority of Lusaka at one point was a bush, meaning it was just wilderness at one point, you get roaches here, man. And it's not because you're dirty. It's not because people are nasty. The place used to be just bushes. So like here in Ibex, where I'm at, I think they said like 5 or 6 years ago was majority bush. And you can still see like there's still a lot of bush areas out here that haven't started developing yet. And so once it starts raining like it is now, there's water piled up. Even my little garden area is full of water. The bugs have to go to wherever there's a dry spot. And unfortunately, that's going to be your house, most likely. Now, it doesn't mean everywhere you go, you're going to be having this issue, but depending on the part you are, if it's more of a fresh bush, this is an issue. And it's annoying. Like I'm telling you straight up, as someone who grew up as a kid, you would see roaches in certain areas and you don't like it. But it doesn't mean that the place is dirty. It's just the environment that's here. So I wanted you to understand that. So in case you come here, especially if you come during a rainy season or you're staying your first rainy season, I don't want you to lose your cool and think like, oh, this house is filthy, this is dirty. It's just a bush and there's nothing around it that I know of so far. Any of my Zambian brothers and sisters, if you know, can you let us know down in the comments? Because I'm even thinking about having an exterminator to come out to spray inside the house. But the only problem is I want them to spray outside the house, but because it's rainy season, I'm pretty sure the rain is just gonna, just drain the whatever insecticides they use off of wherever they're spraying. So I have to see if there is a way around that. And just be mindful, because there is a rainy and a dry season here, each one comes with its own issues, and each one comes with its own benefits also. And it's just something you have to get used to when you're moving abroad. I will say this, I'd rather deal with the bugs here than dealing with bats in Panama. If you ever had a bat come in your house, one, it is scary, it's heart racing. I didn't grow up in areas where there was bats, and I didn't grow up knowing about bats. So whenever I saw bats, I always thought it was rabies. And so we used to get a bat in our house like every 2 or 3 months because they were in the ceilings. And because we had mango trees all over the property we were staying at, you know, they would just sit and eat on the mangoes and fly in the ceiling. And it was just the way that they built their houses. It was a nesting ground for them. And so, like I say, there's good and bad everywhere you go. And I just wanted to share those with you because, like, we all know load shedding is an issue, so I'm not going to even put that on there. Like, there's ways around load shedding. If you have your own property, your own house that you built, then just get a solar grid put in installed also, and be on the commercial grid also. And you won't even have that issue of load shedding. Like, I have 2 portable power stations, 300 watt and 500 watt. They help me enough to where on the days that there is like almost 24 hours no electricity, I can still do some of the things that I need to do. Plus I have a gas stove, I have a brazier to cook on. So there's things to alleviate the load shedding. So that's why I'm not adding that on there. And that's really it for now. Like, I just wanted to share that with you. This is going to be a quick video because I know I highlight a lot of the great things about Zambia. However, you do need to know about some of the nuances here also. And for me, weighing the ability to buy land and the ability to be able to legally start businesses, do all these things legally, that's going to create generational wealth, I can deal with a few bugs here and there. And even with the roaches, even though I get annoyed with it, I just keep Doom on stock. I spray the hell out of them. And like I say, I'm going to end up getting an exterminator to come out and just start spraying the house and get their professional opinion on, is there something we can put out on the ground that'll help keep or deter them from coming. Oh, I was going to say this too. Other thing is, like, you may see dead snakes every once in a while. I've seen 2 in front on the street. One got ran over and looked like one of the kids killed. However, you don't hear about snake-related incidents like that here, because I will say this, the people here are very good on when they see snakes, they exterminate them. I can't speak about other areas, but I'm just speaking about Lusaka. And so, like, those 2, and they were like baby snakes. They weren't big at all. And so they let you know, like, when they see them, they take it very serious and get rid of them. And I think for my year here, that's like the 3rd or 4th snake carcass I've seen. So you may run into that. I don't know, depending on the area you're probably in. But because this is all paved roads, you just see less of that here. And so I just wanted to share that with you. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Also, if you sent me an email and I have not responded, it may have got caught in my spam folder. I tried to look through as much as possible to try to catch anything, and I did delete my spam folder. So if you sent me an email and I haven't responded, please send it again and just play with the title. Because sometimes Google automatically send those things as spam. I do not have control over that. And also, if you look in the description of the videos now, I'm starting to put, if you got questions you need to ask me personally, dealing with Zambia, or get my honest opinion if Zambia is a fit for you. It's a free call. I do not charge people for that. You can hop on my Calendly. Because the internet is not as stable right now, instead of doing a Zoom call, we will be moving it to WhatsApp video calls. So you will have to download WhatsApp, and that way we can be able to talk on there. But that's it for today. And just remember this, I'm Jason, and success is simple once you know how.